Hi, I'm Kelvin, a rising senior from Bronx Division Academy, and my project is the gesture control car. So for my second milestone, I worked on putting together my car chassis. So after I put together my wheels and motor, I moved on to gluing my battery, my Arduino Uno, and the DC driver. So the battery provides power for the DC driver, which moves the car in different directions, and also the DC driver also controls the speed at which the car moves. So I glued everything, and it wasn't that challenging. The only thing that was a low of kind of a challenge was finding room to place the DC driver. The car is pretty small, so there's not that much room to work with. So I stacked everything, and I couldn't find space to put the DC driver. So I ended up putting it on top of the Arduino Uno, and I glued it. I hot glued it. So after putting together all my car pieces and parts, I moved on to working with my glove remote control glove. Yeah. So the first part I worked on the remote glove was the accelerometer. So the accelerometer came with pins that was not soldered. So I had to solder it, and I had to solder the pins to it, and I didn't know how to solder. So I practiced soldering with perf boards and resistors. So I took multiple resistors and just went to soldering. I kept soldering the resistors until I got decent at soldering, and I was confident that I could solder the pins onto the accelerometer. So after I was done soldering the pins onto the accelerometer, I connected wires to the accelerometer into the Arduino Nano. Then I uploaded the code to check if the accelerometer was working. So the code will show me on the serial monitor that different values or different numbers was moving whenever I moved the accelerometer. So when I moved the accelerometer and I saw that the values or numbers on the serial monitor was moving or increasing and decreasing, I knew that the accelerometer was working. So after I got the accelerometer to work, I moved on to sewing everything onto the glove. So sewing was it wasn't a challenge. It was just my pieces kept falling off. So I ended up sewing a bunch of times. I sewed multiple times to get everything into a glove. So after I was done with sewing, I moved on to uploading my car code that will move my code to the Nano and the Uno to move the car. So the first code I was going to use was using row, pitch, and yaw. This code was pretty complicated, and after spending about 1.5 days on it, I decided to move away from it because I was not getting the car to move. So I ended up using another code that was using numbers like 1, 2, 3 to move the car. So for example, if the accelerometer if I made a gesture and the accelerometer picked up a number of values such as 1, then that 1 will be sent to the Arduino Uno, which will be turned into a command to move the car either back, forward, left, or right. So after uploading that code, and that code was not also I did not get that code on the first try. It came with some challenges as well. Uploading that code on the serial monitor, I was getting strange numbers that I couldn't understand or read. I was getting question marks, so I thought something had to be wrong with my board or my wiring. So my first test to test out whether something was wrong with my wiring or board was to upload the Hello World code from my previous milestone. So the Hello World code would show me whether something was wrong or not. So after I uploaded the Hello World code, and I was still getting the same problem as I was with my previous code, I decided to change my board. So I thought the Arduino Nano had been broken. So I switched the Arduino Nano with Arduino Uno, and I was still getting the same problem. So my instructor told me that maybe something was wrong with the wiring. So I took apart all the wiring and replace it with new wiring. And I also replaced the NRF modules. So I swapped the NRF module on the car with the NRF module on the remote control, with the glove remote. Glove remote. So after swapping wires and after switching wires and swapping NRFs, my code was starting to work and my car was beginning to move. So moving forward and back was it was good. It was moving okay. Nothing seemed to be wrong with it. But moving left and right, that was where I encountered a problem. The car was spinning out of control whenever I tried to move it left or right. It spun left too quick or spun right too quick. So I decided to ask my instructor about it, and she told me that when the car is moving left or right, one motor has to slow down. One motor has to be slower than the other motor. So, for example, if one motor was moving at 90 speed, the other motor had to move at 80 speed. So after implementing that in my code, I was able to move my car forward, back, left pretty easily. And yeah, that was my second milestone. Thank you for listening.
This is a live demo of the car. I'm going to demonstrate the different gestures I'm going to make to move the car. Goes out, goes forward, back, left, and right.